Welcome to Batfish Studio. My name is Tracy Yerrell, and this is my studio, which I love. I am an eco-designer, which means that I work with products, or I produce products that are made from materials that have been upcycled and repurposed. So what I do is I take fabric that is often secondhand stores, estate sales, literally anywhere, and I reclaim it. So it comes back to me and I make sure that it's cleaned, and then it goes on to be made into a lot of different products. And then the other thing that I do is I take clothing, which is, again, usually on its way to the landfill, and I see if I can reinvent it somehow. And I do that by using a lot of my silkscreened personal artwork. And then the other thing that I do is I have a whole line of jewelry that's made from the inner tubes of bicycle tires. It's called tubella. Tubella means beautiful tube. So literally this is the inner tubes of bicycle tires that I've sourced locally from the cyclista, and I then put them into jewelry. And it's very satisfying because a lot of people see the jewelry and say, no, that didn't, that was not on a bicycle. And it's like, yes. In my past, I was a professional designer. I worked for large corporations, etc. But as I became more wise, it became very important to me that textiles was such an incredible wasteful product. We as a society, we just do not understand the impact that textile waste has on our planet. So this became an incredible personal journey for me. I felt that if I was going to continue on as a designer, I had to make a difference in this whole part. My mother was a fashion designer. I love textiles. I love fabrics. They are my medium that I work within. But it became very, very apparent. There's some really major things that people are really beginning to understand, that it's the third worst polluter on the planet is textiles. So I thought, well, what can I do? How can I make a difference? How can I possibly make a drop in this ocean of problems? And I thought, well, one, I wanted to get comfortable with working with textiles again. It started off altering fabric or altering clothing that already existed, and it became something that people liked because it had been refurbished. It was not just an ordinary thing, it was one of a kind. And so that was where it sort of started. And then for me as a designer, I love designing and I love making this stuff, but above that is teaching others that this is important. Everybody has to be accountable for the clothing that is in their life. And so what Batfish Studios focus is developing those classes to help people understand why they need to move forward and look at their textiles in their life and rework them, and not be afraid of being creative, because I think, our clothing nowadays, we can stand to be way more creative with that. And our clothing is always a personal expression of who we are and how we feel. And I think that's something very powerful. It's an empowering thing. If you're interested in classes or private shopping, contact me at Batfish Studio on Facebook or Instagram. My website is www.batfishstudio.com.